The shift brings together Belgian companies and helps them to co-create sustainable solutions. How do you support their collaboration and how do you stimulate their collaboration?
Indeed, so the shift is the Belgian meeting point for sustainability, and we bring more than 410 organizations, university, companies, NGO, non-profits, governments together. And we try with our member and our partner to create a more sustainable society and economy. And for that we use three methodology. We connect them, so we say connecting. By putting people together, we try to foster the conversation in order to create new business model. Commits, so we help our members to empower on the sustainable development goals and change. That's so together with our member we create new business model, and or the UN Sustainable Development Goal are our guidelines. It's what we used. So the main topics we are working on, it's all the Sustainable Development Goals and the target linked to them, of course.
You said you help them to co-create new business models.
Yes.
How does this work?
How we have different methodology we used. One very useful and powerful methodology we used in the change part, so the third one. So it's the Green Deal. So the Green Deal, it's a methodology we steal from the Netherlands. So in the Netherlands, they already have 200 Green Deal launched. We launched at the Shift our first Green Deal in 2016. And what a Green Deal is? A Green Deal is it's a voluntary agreement between governments, partners, and civil society to launch a green project. But we can also decline that for social projects or for housing deal, or depends of the challenge we want to tackle. And so the initiator of the Green Deal want to bring together a wide range of actors to tackle one issue that we decide in advance. And very often to tackle this issue we need to create a new business model. And it's why we need to have different actors to solve this issue. And together with the different actors, everyone has his own goal, his own objective, and we can really underline what's the barrier to achieve this goal. And to give you an example of Green Deal we already launched in Belgium, we already launched one Green Deal about biodiversity, one about sharing mobility. We are now launching one in Wallonia about circular economy, and there are many other examples.
How long does it take to develop such a Green Deal?
At the beginning, it took a little bit of time because we had to start learning about the methodology, also convince the different stakeholders that it's working, convince us to join us. But now the last one I'm working on in the French part of the country, it's very quick because we have the methodology, we have the credibility, people believe in the methodology, and yeah, in only a couple of months we start already to have enthusiasm and people will say, okay, we will sign the Green Deal, but then afterward we will see what will be the results because we start only 2 or 3 years ago in Belgium. We don't have impact measurement yet.
You said that companies sign a Green Deal.
Yeah.
What do they sign? Is it a one-page document? Is it a long commitment?
Depends a little bit about the steering committee. If the steering committee decides to do a big document explaining everything, it will be a very long document. But actually, it's an agreement on effort and not of results. So the the company of the organization who decide to sign the Green Deal, to join the effort, decide to make action. For example, circular economy, they say, okay, we will do 2 circular procurement during the duration of the Green Deal. And that's it. But it's huge if you want to stimulate circular economy.
How much analysis does it take before starting a Green Deal to find out who has to be involved?
Actually, the big challenge is to find the issue we want to tackle. And then we just have to find the partners, the initiator. And then we communicate about the Green Deal, and it's a voluntary act. If company or organization wants or doesn't want to join the Green Deal, we cannot oblige them. So to find the issue, it's quite easy for us because we are constantly in contact with our members. 410 members in Belgium, it's quite a lot. We are also the meeting point for CSR Europe and the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. So we are very aware of the big issue the world is tackling today.
The people who are involved in these Green Deals, are they CSR managers, are they innovation managers, product managers, or even owners of companies or CEOs?
It really depends of the topics of the Green Deal. For example, for the Green Deal circular procurement, it will be the people who buy the products who will be involved, and it's why it's so powerful because I hope that all the CSR managers know about the topics, but very often, as you know, in company, people are working in silo. So very often, people who are in charge of buying stuff don't know anything about circular economy, and it's normal. They are in their day-to-day life, so it's challenging to, beside their job, to be aware about the big challenge the world is facing. Part of the Green Deal sharing mobility, we had an insurance company who decided just to sign the Green Deal and say, okay, I would like to do something to improve the mobility in Belgium. And so it was a product manager who was involved, and by talking with people during the Green Deal, he realized that there were no insurance products to buy one car with 2 people.
Are policymakers involved?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a very important part of the Green Deal because one of the things of the Green Deal, it's of course empower people who will sign the Green Deal, find new innovative business model, but also to discover a barrier to tackle one issue. And if we see, for example, for waste management in the circular economy, we realize that very often some products are considered as waste, and so we cannot use this anymore. And it was decided for very good reason in the past, but now if we want to develop new business model, we need to review that. And so we need to involve public authority and policymakers.
Are companies very open-minded towards new business models, or are they sometimes also a little bit hesitant or reluctant?
I think that all these companies are aware that we have to do some things. But the level of courage to do some things really depends on the company. In our case, if the organization, because we are not only have company, decides to join the shift, it's because they want to do something. They want to put sustainability higher in their agenda, and some of the organization are really front runner, and so they are really okay to co-create, develop new business model, and some of them feel that they have to do something but don't really understand what they have to do, still in their old business model by working in silo, doesn't really realize that we have to co-create, and it's really our role at the shift. It's by putting them, and slowly they realize the power of talking with people, doing partnerships.
Is there a difference between large or larger companies contributing to a big deal and small and medium-sized enterprises?
I will certainly not say that big companies are doing nothing, but it's less agile. We also have part of network, a lot of social entrepreneurs, startup, and we see that's amazing. It's from the start of the creation of this social entrepreneur and startup, in their DNA they have this co-creation mindsets, and it's not really the case for big company. Even some of them are trying to do something, are trying to create this dynamic of co-creation inside the company. But it's big company with multiple actors, and it's slow and it's difficult.
Is the Green Deal often addressing one specific sector, or are Green Deals cross-sectoral?
It's really cross-sector. We really try. Our motto, it's really, we have one issue we want to solve, one challenge that needs new business model, and we address that. And we see that different sectors are coming and joining us because they realize that we are all part of the solution.
When a new deal develops a new business model, is this new business model assessed regarding its future impact?
I will say that it's the role of maybe the academics or I don't know, the research and development department to assess that. And even though it's, I think, very difficult to see what's the butterfly effect will be of something we are doing. It's why, for me, it's super important to really, from the start of a work, to assess if we take people in the story, if we are not leaving people behind us when we are starting something.
Where do the ideas for new Green Deals come from? From the companies, from the shift, from policy?
Mm-hmm. We are constantly in contact with our members, so it's really a mix between what the organization are telling to us, the challenge they are facing day after day, but it's also by our experience, because we are working in sustainability. So of course we know exactly what's the challenge the society are facing, and it's really a mix between the fact that we want to help reaching the sustainable development goals with the conversation of the organization we are working with, of course what we heard from the UN Global Compact, CSR Europe, World Business Council for Sustainable Development. By being the single point of contact for sustainability in Belgium, it's easier for us to really underline what's the challenge Belgium or the world are facing, and it's really how we decide to start project.
What do you think is the future of sustainability, the future of responsibility? Will it be a competitive advantage for a few companies or a must for all?
I really strongly believe that it's a big opportunity for company, and the World Business Council underlined that there are $12 trillion opportunity by reaching the Sustainable Development Goals. I really think that if the company are having an outside-in approach, by looking what's the issue the world is facing, and by finding and saying, okay, I have these skills, I can find a solution to reach the goals, the Sustainable Development Goals. I think that there is many business opportunity for them, but the company needs to switch and really have to have this outside-in approach and stop looking inside the company. Say, okay, I'm doing this. It's, and then I tackling this sustainable development goal. I think that they really have to say, okay, what's the problem I can solve in my perfect world, and I think it will happen, we will not have sustainable department anymore, or maybe a small one. It's every person inside the company will be in charge of sustainability or impacts. I think that business has to become a force for good, and for that every has to be responsible for what they are doing. Every person inside the company needs to have as KPIs sustainable KPIs. It's how I see the future of sustainability. It's no sustainability anymore. It's just being fully part of the story.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.